The inclusion of a new player into the complex salary structure of a prominent team would require both careful planning and significant concessions. A proposal for an average salary might eventually cover their first year, but securing their long-term presence would demand innovative trade strategies. This could involve combining a player's expiring contract or even considering the addition of another player as an attractive asset. Picture a trade offer: one player, along with the potential of a rookie, a first-round pick for the year 2031, and perhaps a pick swap for 2026, aimed at convincing an opposing team. While this request may seem high, a player with an initial contract would still bring both immediate and future benefits to the team. This transaction would depend on the available cap space and luxury tax restrictions, forcing management to carefully balance the salaries of experienced players with promising young talent. Would management have the audacity to restructure the roster by moving role players in search of exceptional talent? This idea generates both excitement and apprehension, because in the current league context, seizing opportunities often implies sacrificing depth. It is worth considering the human side beyond numbers and trade proposals. The new player is not just a solid defender. He is a source of competitive motivation whose leadership is felt throughout the team's environment. He openly expresses his aspirations to win a championship, driven by an incessant desire that leads him to early workouts and additional team practice sessions. Integrating this mentality into the group's culture, where each game is treated as a decisive battle, could revitalize the environment. Imagine the collaboration between players and game analysis, challenging each other in intense training sessions, infusing the younger ones with the resilience needed to succeed in a competitive market. Could this new player's dedication and commitment be the solution to the team's lapses in focus and lack of defensive vigor? In a franchise that has seen complacency creep in, a strong voice in search of excellence could be the transformative agent that reignites the winning mentality. Furthermore, the marketing potential and narrative opportunities are significant. The arrival of this player to a prestigious team would quickly attract media attention. His presence would complete a trio of stars, generating headlines across various platforms. Imagine social media buzzing with highlights of his impressive plays. This compelling narrative could inspire a new wave of fans, boost jersey sales, and reshape the promotional landscape of the league. This is relevant because in a city where basketball transcends mere sport and becomes a spectacle, the presence of this player could be the key element that reestablishes the team at the forefront. This decision will not only be measured by victories, but also by the cultural impact it could provoke. However, for every attractive possibility, there's an element of uncertainty involved. The previous team may place such a high value on this player that they may not be willing to trade him, seeing him as a key piece for the future. The new team, aware of one of their star players' injury history, must weigh the wisdom of investing significantly in another high-profile athlete, which could lead to financial rigidity and disrupt the group's harmony. This is the dilemma faced by competitors betting on transformative talents while dealing with the complexities of salary cap rules, player commitments, and long-term roster strategy. The franchise that has already celebrated successes with great legends would have the courage to redefine its approach around its current stars. Or will it hesitate, even considering this option, due to the sacrifices required, opting for safer adjustments instead of bold changes? Imagine the arrival of a new player to this prominent team, further increasing competitiveness and altering the group's dynamic. Reluctant in the face of the necessary sacrifice, the team might opt for prudent adjustments instead of radical changes. Picture a player who admires purple and gold hues, standing 6 feet 11 inches tall. With his wingspan covering the painted area, he would have the potential to revolutionize the team's defense instantly. Since the days of the great stars in Brooklyn, this player has built his reputation as one of the fastest centers in the league, always protecting the basket with exceptional defensive skill. Could his arrival stop the hemorrhaging of rebounds and transform the team into a true collective capable of containing any pick-and-roll attack? This possibility alone creates unease among opposing coaches. On offense, the unique combination of athleticism and skill in this player would complement a backcourt full of stars. Imagine him breaking double teams to throw down impressive dunks, forcing defenses to collapse and creating opportunities for cutters. His ability to roll with power and finish through contact would add a new dimension to the offensive schemes, especially valuable in clock pressure situations when spacing becomes challenging. Perhaps he becomes the crucial absence in alley-oops, just as fans once clamored for a great player to catch high passes. Additionally, there is the difficult to quantify impact. This player's energy is contagious. Whether in contested rebounds or challenging shots, his momentum is relentless. In a locker room that has experienced defensive lapses leading to early eliminations, this player's determination could bring a significant change to the team's culture. Some analysts believe that his defensive commitment and altruistic spirit would resonate among the younger supporting players, encouraging collective involvement in the less glamorous but equally essential parts of the game. Could this be what reawakens the winning spirit in Los Angeles? It's clear that making such a trade will not be easy. Moving valuable players and a first-round pick for 2031 represents a considerable investment, and the opposing team would demand more if they sense desperation. However, if the franchise's decision-makers can craft the right mix of youth and future assets, this bold move could signal something important for the entire league. The team is not merely seeking subtle adjustments, it is fully committed to restoring its defensive strength. Would Los Angeles be willing to risk its future for the next generation of defenders? Ultimately, the question remains. Will the team choose to trade for a player who could transform their reality or opt for gradual improvements? In a season where a healthy roster could lead to strong playoff positioning, acquiring a standout player could be the essential difference between a long playoff run and another early elimination. Therefore, fans, keep your hopes alive. Could this player join those traditional colors and solidify the defense as the city's legends have done for years? The question lingers, could the addition of one more great talent be the turning point that finally combines a powerful offense with an impenetrable defense? Or will it simply be an off-season illusion, a daydream fueled by playoff disappointments? One thing is certain, for a franchise rooted in a tradition of great names and a glorious history of championships, this speculation resonates deeply. The future of basketball in Los Angeles may depend on this crucial decision. The moment for significant choices is approaching, and only the most audacious decision makers will have the opportunity to alter the course of history. What do you think about this? Are you ready to see a great athlete representing the purple and gold colors? Let's dive into an exciting possibility that could redefine the essence of the team. Could a 6'11" player, a candidate for a top defensive team, be headed to Hollywood to address a critical need in the paint? Before we get into the details, think about this. What if the team management orchestrates an innovative move that resonates throughout the league? Could the big stars finally be joined by the rim protector they've always sought? Keep watching as we are just beginning to explore this intriguing scenario. Everything stems from that painful first round exit against a challenging opponent. Remember Game 5 when and if a major move occurs, sending shockwaves throughout the league. Could a team finally get the rim protector they've always wanted? Keep watching as we are just beginning to delve into this subject. This situation stemmed from that bitter first round exit against a Western Conference team. Do you remember Game 5 when a player turned the court into his personal space, scoring 27 points, grabbing 24 rebounds, and blocking shots several times? The team clearly lacked the height and defensive presence necessary to compete effectively. With the departure of a key player in a significant trade in February, it became evident that the team would trade some interior size for perimeter points. However, no one predicted how critical that interior space would become. For an offense-focused team, this gap translated into a defensive weakness, something that prevented each subsequent tactical adjustment. Now imagine this scenario: a former Defensive Player of the Year, finalist entering the painted area. In theory, he checks all the boxes. With a broad wingspan to contest shots, quick feet to cover pick-and-roll plays, and a three-point shooting accuracy that opens up the game, he is the perfect addition. Combine that with the skill set of a unique player. Picture all the passes directed to him in the corner or the lob opportunities when the defender doubles down on the attack. Could the pick and roll play finally become the nightmare for opponents that it has always promised to be? It's hard not to feel excited just imagining this player making an impressive. Of course, no major move comes without its challenges. He is under contract until 2027 and has a considerable salary. The team is already facing a high luxury tax. But what if management used some mid-level contracts to fill this gap? Perhaps a creative trade with another franchise could ease the financial burden. And what if a well-crafted package of draft picks, veteran swaps, and savvy cap management allowed him to join the team without compromising the future? Could this be the bold risk the NBA needs right now, especially in a Western Conference more competitive than ever? Let's delve deeper into the opportunities surrounding this player. Imagine an innovative package of draft picks, veteran swaps, and a touch of cap skill, bringing this player to the team without sacrificing the future. Could this be the kind of bold risk the NBA landscape needs right now, especially in such a competitive Western Conference? Let's take a deeper look at this player's profile. He posted an impressive block per game average last season, ranking among the league leaders, and his defensive rating is exceptional when on the floor. Offensively, he's not just a supporting player. He set personal records in points with a remarkable per-game average, and in three-point attempts last season. However, some experts note inconsistencies in his performance. He still experiences periods of low effectiveness and a limited playbook. Could a change of environment, playing alongside exceptional talents rather than being the primary offensive focus in his current team, unlock a whole new level of performance? Some experts believe that even with the half usage he faces now, this player's per-minute production could skyrocket in a new context. Meanwhile, the ripple effects on the team around him could be profound. A point guard could take on more responsibilities without the ball, allowing his cutting ability to shine. Other players will become constant targets for lob passes when defenses focus on the stars. Defensive strategies under new leadership could shift from heavy trapping and confusion-based approaches to more focused rim protection with switches. Could this be the small change that transforms an average team during the regular season into a true title contender? The big question remains, though, is the rival team's front office truly willing to part with this player? The general manager of that franchise has built the team's identity around versatile young defenders, and trading away their defensive pillar could trigger a rebuilding process. However, rumors are circulating around the league suggesting that this team might be interested in a package centered around draft picks and rotational pieces, especially if they believe that their window of opportunity requires more shooters around them. Would the idea of acquiring future first-round picks and shedding a hefty contract at the same time be tempting enough to induce a decision? And how would the impact on team culture and locker room dynamics play out? Adding this player could change everything. To ensure Ja Morant's effectiveness, it's essential to have more efficient shooting options around him. The idea of trading significant contracts for future draft picks could be attractive enough to justify a move. Moreover, how could this influence the culture and dynamics in the team's locker room? Adding Jaren Jackson Jr. to the roster would signal to LeBron James that the front office is committed to pursuing titles even as the veteran's career nears its end. For younger players like Cam Reddish or Gabe Vincent, this could translate into a valuable lesson in excellence on both ends of the court. Meanwhile, rival teams could be worried about facing a trio of LeBron, Luka, and Jaren, three high-level NBA players capable of integrating deep shooting, playmaking, driving, and rim protection seamlessly. Could this be the strategy that dismantles the dominant forces in the Western Conference? Yet, I wonder, is Jaren Jackson Jr. truly the key piece missing for Los Angeles title aspirations? Or is this just a distraction created by post-playoff disappointment? If acquired, do you believe his offensive inconsistencies will disappear in a new system? Or will fans in Los Angeles face yet another 3-and-D player struggling to find his rhythm? From a financial perspective, does this represent an overexposure or a well-calculated risk that could yield rewards in the coming seasons? Imagine a front court so powerful that opposing offenses hesitate before crossing half court. At just 25 years old, Jaren Jackson Jr. could provide that essential spark for the Lakers, a youth injection, wingspan, and defensive skill that would perfectly complement Anthony Davis's championship-level abilities on both sides of the court. Despite his undeniable impact, Davis's availability has been a concern year after year due to persistent injuries and the wear and tear of his intense playing time. Now, imagine a scenario where the Lakers manage Davis's workload and extend his peak performance by sharing center responsibilities with Jackson. Would you see Davis adapting to guarding agile wings and adjusting to different defensive schemes, using his speed and instincts to guard the perimeter, while Jackson strengthens the interior defense, punishing those who dare to drive with a rim protection that earned him Defensive Player of the Year honors? This combination could transform Los Angeles' defense into a versatile unit, smoothly shifting from small ball strategies to more imposing lineups. Speed and instincts are essential for perimeter protection, while Jackson ensures security in the painted area, punishing those who attempt to drive with his rim protection, recognized with Defensive Player of the Year awards. This synergy transforms Los Angeles' defense into a multifaceted weapon, easily adapting to small ball formations one moment and resisting traditional big men in the next. Could this dynamic partnership, with Davis as the mobile protector and Jackson as the solid presence, represent the most versatile front court in league history? Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on! The NBA playoffs always bring out intense emotions, both on and off the court. And this year was no exception. As the postseason drama unfolded, one moment stood out when Anthony Edwards, the young star of the Minnesota Timberwolves, took aim at the Los Angeles Lakers following their early exit from the playoffs. Known for his confident and sometimes playful nature, Edwards' comments about the Lakers' elimination have ignited a firestorm of reactions from fans, players, and analysts alike. The Timberwolves, who faced off against the Lakers in the opening round of the playoffs, had their own battles to fight. Though Minnesota ultimately fell short in their quest for a championship, the Lakers' loss in the second round of the playoffs left a palpable sense of unfinished business hanging in the air. Edwards, who has steadily grown into one of the NBA's brightest young talents, wasted little time in chiming in on the Lakers' untimely departure. During a recent interview, Edwards was asked about the Lakers' performance, and he didn't hold back. I mean, they didn't even make it that far. "I don't know what all the fuss was about," he said with a smirk. "People act like they were still in the race for the title, but they're sitting at home just like us now." While Edwards was likely trying to be playful, his comments didn't sit well with Lakers fans, who have long been accustomed to their team's championship pedigree. The Lakers, led by LeBron James and Anthony Davis, had entered the playoffs as one of the more dangerous teams in the West, and their elimination came as a shock to many. It wasn't just a case of a team losing. It was the end of a season that had been marked by high expectations. The Timberwolves' exit from the playoffs earlier in the same postseason may have prompted Edwards' remarks, but it's clear that the young player wasn't going to let the Lakers off easily. The NBA has always been a league where rivalries fuel heated exchanges, and Edwards' comments only add another chapter to the storied history of Lakers-Timberwolves animosity. Despite the backlash, Edwards didn't back down. On social media, he shared a post laughing about the situation, showing that he was in on the joke. For some, this was a sign of maturity and confidence. For others, it seemed a bit out of place, given that Edwards and the Timberwolves weren't exactly playoff contenders for long. Nevertheless, his remarks added a layer of spice to the off-season conversation, keeping fans on edge and fueling the ongoing debate over the Lakers' future. Lakers head coach Darvin Ham and players like LeBron James have yet to publicly address Edwards' taunts, but it's clear that the Lakers will be working hard to regroup ahead of next season. They'll look to bounce back from this disappointing elimination and prove that they are still a force to be reckoned with in the Western Conference. Edwards, on the other hand, continues to rise as a key figure in the Timberwolves' future. His boldness and competitive spirit have won him many admirers, though it's also clear that the young star knows how to keep the trash talk alive. Whether he's poking fun at the Lakers or pushing himself to greater heights, Edwards is undoubtedly a player to watch in the years to come. As the NBA offseason progresses, the tension between these two teams seems far from over. Will Anthony Edwards continue to take jabs at the Lakers, or will the purple and gold bounce back in a big way next year? One thing is for certain, this rivalry has only just begun. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.